When the school first mentioned the independent travel course to us, we were very apprehensive and we were really worried about it because Dan's perception of road safety and independence is completely different maybe to everybody else's. Daniel stopped traffic by walking into the middle of the road and holding his hand up and saying stop, which is completely inappropriate and is going to get him in serious trouble. So when the school first mentioned it, we did take it away and we discussed it quite a lot and we looked at the risks involved. And then the school explained more about the course and the fact that they weren't just expecting him to go on out and to cross roads or to get on buses, that they'd teach him step by step. So we felt a lot more comfortable with that. So I was in my office one day and I heard Dan's voice downstairs and I was a bit worried at what he were actually doing there. But when I've met up with him, he had a real buzz about him. And he's saying, I've been on a bus, I've got through the road, I've crossed at the pedestrian crossing and I'm not dead. So can we have a brew, Sean? So we met him and the tutor that had brought him a drink and again she was so happy at the fact that he'd accomplished all this movement and transporting and crossing roads and the pedestrian crossing that she were absolutely over the moon with him. So it just gave Dan this feeling of I've made a step towards independence. One day I will be able to go on a bus to go to the pictures or to the swimming baths without people escorting him. So it lifted him up and in fact it gave him such a good month that it enabled him to do lots of different things which he hadn't done previously. I think the process is at the right speed. I don't think they rush it, but they don't dawdle at it either. So to allow the young people that independence, they do take it at the individual's pace. So it's not one set pace for everybody. They will look at it and judge by what the capabilities of the young person are.
When we've gone through all the assessments and we feel they are ready to do the independent travel, we'll do it in a few different stages. First of all, I would go down on the bus with them and show them what to do, which bus to catch, go over the timetable with them and physically go with them into town, walk around town just for half an hour and then catch the next bus coming back up to college. Do that a couple of times. After that, I would let them go by themselves but follow them in my car and make sure they got off the bus at Nelson and got back on the bus to college. And then when I was confident with that, I would then expect them to then be able to go down into Nelson, come back and then show us their bus tickets to prove it that that's where they've actually been. These are some of the assessments that we start off with, making sure basic things like the student walks on the pavement, not on the road, doesn't hold hands with other people, doesn't hang on to staff, holds their head up whilst they're walking, observing where they're going, and know the basic words of walk, stop and wait. The students then have to be able to identify certain things like the road, the pavement, the curb, drains, driveways, dropped curbs and common street furniture like post boxes, grit boxes, lamp posts, etc. They have to understand that pavements are for people and that roads are for vehicles, but give examples of why sometimes we may have to go on the road. When we start learning about crossing the roads, we're making sure that we cross away from any cars, make sure there's suitable gaps, make sure before stepping off the pavement that the vehicles aren't about to move, make sure that the students stop at the edge, look in both directions and make sure they are listening, not just looking but listening for traffic, and when it's safe to do so, then they walk straight across looking and listening. To help us feel confident that we know the students are able to do this, we have a system where we get a 3 if they need no help and they're completely independent. A 2 means they need just a little bit of help and reassurance, or a 1, they need a lot of help. 0 is mean it wasn't attempted, it wasn't possible to do this.
Right guys, what do we prefer? Do we prefer getting picked up in a taxi and brought to school, or do you prefer travelling on your own on the bus?
Because if you're in a taxi, you're just surrounded by adults and you just feel like a little kid. But if you're on the bus, you just feel like a big adult and just on your own.
That's really, really good, that. Excellent.
No staff, no people. That's it.
It's made a lot of difference to him. When he used to go on the school transport, he was a little boy. A little boy as in, he was with his friends all the time and that. Now he's the big grown-up boy. He's the big grown-up teenager now that goes independently, and it's like, it's made a lot of difference to him. It's made him grow up more. I'm really proud of him, yeah. It's brought him on a lot at school and that lot. He's really enjoying it now, yeah.
I'd say to parents just to give it a go, because the tutors are with them all the time. It's not like they're in any risk because the staff are on a one-to-one capacity with them, and it does allow them to open doors and enables them to build the confidence.
You bump, and why do we have speed bumps?
So the cars can slow down.
That's right.
It makes me feel like I'm grown up, and you don't get your parents to bring you to school. You can meet your friends.
We'll do some more work with these timetables.
Yeah. Because you need to get about on your own, don't you?
It just gives them a lot more of a normal life and independence. They can do normal things like normal teenagers. It gives them the confidence to do things that normal teenagers would do.
Feel good.